Hello, my name is Don DeSimone, and on this video I'm going to show you how to make the most outrageous turkey you've ever made. We're talking about a turkey that is brined, smoked, slow rotisseried, and it's going to be the most flavorful turkey you've ever made. So come on inside and let's get started. For most families, all the Thanksgiving activities take place right here in the kitchen. But for us, we're going to be spending a lot of time outside because we're going to be working on a very special turkey. It's what I call the 75-year-old DeSimone Smoked Turkey Special. My wife will have to explain what that means, but in the meantime, get your notepads ready, your pens and your pencils. Get ready to take some notes because we've got a lot of things to cover. And let's start off by covering, first of all, some of the steps we'll be going through. We'll talk about preparing the barbecue itself. Cleaning it up, getting it ready so it's nice and clean so we have all fresh flavors when we're barbecuing that bird. Preparing the brine, what goes in it, why we want to use it, and how it's going to get that magical flavor into the turkey. We'll also talk about preparing the turkey for the rotisserie and how to counterbalance it, how to get that nice heavy turkey ready to go. We're also going to record the whole process of barbecuing the bird, smoking the bird, so basting the bird. You'll get to see the entire process all the way through. Of course, before we serve the turkey, we'll want to have that photo opportunity for everybody to have a picture taken with Tom. We'll include a few wine selections, a few of our own favorites, and of course that's individual taste and certainly up to you, but we'll give you some ideas to start with. Okay, it's Thursday, 1 week before Thanksgiving, so let's run down and get that newspaper and check those ads. Be right back. Okay, so I've got the newspaper, so let's sit down at the table and see what kind of ads we can find. Okay, what we're going to look for in the newspaper is not just the price of turkeys, because the price of turkeys will be different for you. After all, we're looking in the year 2009, and hopefully you'll have a better deal in the years ahead. We see ads for 39 cents, 59 cents a pound, but of course these are leading ads to get you to come into the store to buy other things other than the turkey. The main thing you're going to want to look for in the ads is to find a turkey that has not been injected. You don't want a butterball turkey. You don't want one that's loaded with preservatives. You want to find something that's a free-range turkey or that's a natural grown turkey. So in looking through these ads a while ago, on the way home, I really didn't see any in the newspaper. Most of them are the butterball turkeys and the standard turkeys that you'll find in most markets. However, you just have to ask the butcher if they have them. You might check at some other stores. We're going to be looking at Costco, and we're going to look at Bristol Farms and call a few other places before the weekend. So that's what you want to do your homework. Now the next point is, here's the big question, and this will come up on your test too if you want to put in for your certificate to be a certified outrageous smoked turkey chef. So this is one of the questions that will come up. How many days ahead of time should you purchase your turkey? 1 day, 3 days, or 5 days? Now keep in mind we're talking about a frozen turkey because most of us will be using a frozen turkey. That's how most of them come, and there's really little difference between frozen and fresh, I think. So how many days would you think? 1 day, 3 days, or 5 days? Take a guess. If you said 1 day before or 3 days before, you're wrong. You want to buy that turkey 5 days before Thanksgiving. Now, why do you want to do that? Because when it comes to defrosting, if you buy the turkey Sunday morning, it's going to take 3 days in the refrigerator to defrost. So from Sunday morning, that brings it all the way to Wednesday morning. So by Wednesday morning, you'll have a fully defrosted turkey in the refrigerator. At the same time, Tuesday night, you're going to be making your brine, which we'll be covering shortly. And the brine has to cool down, so that'll be in the refrigerator cooling down. So Wednesday morning, turkey goes into the brine, sits in there for 24 hours, voila, Thursday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're ready to take that turkey out and start preparing it for the barbecue. So, that's it for this segment. Let's move on to the next segment. Well, it's Thursday, a week before Thanksgiving, And what a beautiful day we have here in Southern California. Right now we're at 80 degrees, perfectly dry weather, perfectly calm. Wonderful day to get out there and start working on your barbecue. One thing I forgot to mention to you, you do want to do a smoked turkey outside. You don't want to do a smoked turkey inside your house. Last place you want to do that. You'll drive your smoke detectors crazy. And the other thing is, for all of you who are living in a condo or a townhouse, you probably won't be able to use a smoker. You're going to have to check with your homeowners association. Most places do not allow that. So you're going to have to go over to a friend's house or somewhere else to really work on your smoked turkey. So we're going to talk about a couple options, because I know many of you have many different kinds of cookers. You might have a freestanding, you might have a electric one, but that's all right. You can adapt these recipes to whatever you're using. Whether you're using an old electric smoker or one of the old rotisserie burners like I have here, which is an old 5-burner, the important thing is it's got to be clean. Let's take a look at the barbecue and see what we have to deal with. First of all, you're going to want to take the barbecue completely apart and clean it all out inside. Get all the gunk out of there that's been coating it for the last year. You might want to take a look at the burners. If you got some old burners like I do, this is an old 5-burner broiler. You want to take a coat hanger and clean out all the little holes that are inside these burners. This one's pretty bad shape. One of them was pretty bad, so I had to replace it entirely and put a new one in. So you have to take it all apart and get the whole inside brushed down with a steel brush, and use some cleaner to clean off the cover itself. Just get some Grease Grizzly or some other type of cleaner that's available from your local barbecue or from Lowe's or from Home Depot. While you're there, you might as well pick up and replace some of those charcoal briquettes that are all burned out and gunked up. And you might as well pick up the apple chips if you can find them there, because you're going to need those eventually anyway. Don't forget to pick up a smoker box to put those wood chips in, because that's going to come in handy as well. After your barbecue is all cleaned out, reassemble it by putting the tray back inside that holds the charcoal briquettes. Set that in place. As you can tell, I've got a pretty poor screen here that's pretty much deteriorated. So I'm going to add in an extra piece. So hopefully I can make that screen last a little bit longer. So I have a new screen, so I'm going to install right on top of the old burnt out one, because I can't get one. They don't make these anymore, and that's going to give me the basis for putting the charcoal briquettes back in. And now I can start adding these briquettes in one at a time, replacing the really bad ones with brand new ones. Okay. All right, well, I put the new briquettes in, left space for a drip pan. Now all I have to do is put the cover back on. So here we go with the cover. And there we are, the cover's in place. A look inside tells us that the flames are working just fine. Well, we spent our weekend checking into turkeys, and here's what we found out. There's an oversupply of fresh turkeys in Los Angeles, so we narrowed it down to 2 choices. Instead of going with the frozen turkey, we looked at the Hunsinger Farms, which is located here in Los Angeles. They've been here since 1934. And we also looked at Zaki Farms, which has been here about 75 years, I guess. So they've been here a long time. Started down in downtown Los Angeles and now located in El Monte. Both of them have organic, free-range type turkeys, so that's the kind of thing we want. no injections, no preservatives. So that's the kind we're going to go for. We're going to go out and buy it on Tuesday. So here's the schedule. Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. we're going to make the brine. And then we're going to go shopping for our turkey. Tuesday night at 10 p.m., after the turkey's all cleaned up, ready to go, we're going to put it into the brine, into our refrigerator in the garage. It'll stay there for 24 hours. Wednesday at 10 p.m., a lot of 10s in this, we're going to take it out of the brine, dump the brine out, but leave the turkey in the pot so it will drain for an additional 12 hours. I think that's going to give us a little bit more crispier type skin and finish. So then at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, we'll be ready to take that out, let it sit for an hour, get down to room temperature, and we'll be ready to barbecue. So that's the plan. But for now, the next thing we want to do is, during this interview, since we have a little bit of time left, let's talk about some of the wines that you might want to serve for Thanksgiving. And I have a few suggestions for you, so let's go into the bar. Well, let's talk about the kind of wines we want to serve with this wonderful Thanksgiving dinner. First of all, a great way to greet your guests as they arrive is to have some nice pink champagne available. The last thing you want to do is order Cook's. Cook's will give everybody an instant headache. It's inexpensive, but it's terrible. So get yourself a very nice pink champagne, sparkling wine. It's very light, very festive. Put it in an ice bucket. You'll be ready to go, and everybody will be excited when they arrive. That gets started. Next thing we want to do, talk about the wines we're going to have for dinner. Very quickly, Rosemary DeSimone always liked to serve a white wine with turkey, and it does go great with turkey. Particularly this one. It's Blue Nun. It's moderate in price, not that costly at all, and it goes great with turkey. It's light, it's festive, a little bit sweet, and you'll really enjoy it. Going on to the reds, traditionally, Beaujolais has been the choice. But French Beaujolais usually comes out a week before Thanksgiving. And in this case, the Beaujolais that came out this year, which is 2009, were not all that great. They were kind of weak, and they need to have a little more time to age in the bottle. So we're going to skip on the Beaujolais, and we're going to go to the next step up, which is a little more flavorful, and that's a Petite Sirah. Now this one I happen to have is by Concannon. Concannon is actually the originator of Petite Sirah. They've developed this, and it's very nice. It has a taste of a little bit of spices, a little bit of cinnamon. So you pick up some nice flavors from this that'll complement the turkey and your dressing and your other dishes. The last one, for those who really like red wines a lot, they have red wines with their steaks all the time, you might want to go to a little bolder wine, which would be a Zinfandel. Not a white Zinfandel, but a red Zinfandel. And this one is a little bit more bold, a little more robust, and it has a nice little bit of an oak finish at the end. So this should go very well with turkey and all your other dishes as well. So to finish up the evening, of course for dessert, whatever you're serving for dessert, you might want to consider something like a Spanish port. Have a little glass of that. Or if you want to really get daring, get a bottle of Sambuca and pass around a tray of these little shot glasses, and I'm sure everybody will have a great time with those. You're going to hear a lot of stories after a couple of shots of these. So that's it for the wines, and now we're going to take a little break while we have a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Hi, it's me again, Don DeSimone, with a special invitation for you, the viewing audience. Here's something that's a once-in-a-lifetime offer. We're offering to sign you up with a charter membership if you act today. Just simply fill out a self-addressed envelope and mail a small contribution to us of silver, gold, euro, dollars. We don't even care. Any amount will do. And if you send that to us today, we will sign you up for the charter membership of the DeSimone Culinary Institute in Northridge, California. But wait, there's more. If you do that, we will also send you an application so that you can send us one of your outrageous recipes. If we choose your recipe, we'll do a video on it, we'll put it together, giving you the credit, and we'll put that on YouTube. Who knows where it will be. The important thing is to act today. So don't forget to sign up for this, and here's what we're going to do. If you send us your recipe, we'll give you the Certificate of Culinary Excellence from the Culinary Institute right here in Northridge. Take a look at that. How would you like that hanging in your office? Won't your wife or husband be proud of you? So act today. This is a limited offer. Don't miss it. And now, back to you, Don, and let's get that brine going. Before we start talking about making the brine, there's one other component that's very important, and that is dressing. Now, we're not talking about the kind of dressing that you make to go along with the turkey. No, we're talking about this kind of dressing. The kind of dressing that you want to be prepared for when you bring that turkey in and everybody wants to have their picture taken with the turkey. Remember, you are the chef, so why not be in the picture along with that turkey? But you've got to dress appropriately. Be sure and get yourself some bright colored apron like this one, and you got to have that chef's hat. And at that point, who would refuse to have their picture taken with you and the turkey? Okay, so that's it. Let's get busy with the brine. And here we go. We're off and running. Okay, we're ready to start our brine preparation. So get your pens and pencils ready. Get your notes ready. Let's go over the ingredients that we're going to use for the brine. Fortunately, I have a 10-gallon pot that I picked up from 5-Star Restaurant Supply in Van Nuys. So this pot is what we're going to put the brine in once we go over the ingredients. But of course I can't cook everything in a pot this large because I don't have one that size. So what I'm going to use is this little 8-quart pot, just to make a portion of the brine, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients into that. So let's go over the ingredients that we're going to utilize. I'll cover them one by one so that you can make some notes. Okay, so here are the things that you want to write down for the brine. The brine calls for 4 gallons of water, but we're only going to start with 1 gallon because that's all we can fit in a small pot. We're going to use a total of 8 quarts of apple juice, but we're going to start with 2. We're going to utilize 5 cups of kosher salt, 5 teaspoons of thyme, 5 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of juniper berries, and those you want to crush as much as you can, 15 cloves, and we're going to use 3 bay leaves, 6 cloves of garlic, and I think I'm going to chop those up because they're pretty big. And we're going to use the shavings from 1 orange, the orange peel only, not the white stuff. You don't want that in there. And last of all, we're going to use 2½ cups of light brown sugar. So those are the basic ingredients. Okay, we're ready to start the brine solution. So I already have 1 gallon of water in here. So now I'm going to add some of the apple juice. Hopefully we're going to have enough room in this 8-quart pot to get started with all of this stuff. Maybe I'll just add 1 of these for now. I think I will because there's a lot more stuff to go in here. Okay. By the way, the easiest way to measure the water, instead of, if you have to get a total of 4 gallons of water, instead of using measuring cup, you might use one of these empty orange juice containers, which is equal to 2 quarts. Fill it right up to where it says lots of pulp or whatever it says at the top, about a ½ inch down, and you can use these to quickly fill up the water. Okay, now we're going to dump in the salt. Whoa, that's a lot of salt. Just about a whole box for the 5 cups of kosher salt. Okay, we're not quite up to the top, so let's add in the brown sugar. There you go with the brown sugar. Wow, this is going to be good. You can smell all these flavors already. Woo, here we go with brown sugar. Okay. There we go with the spices. The thyme is in. Look at our black peppercorns. Drop those in. And we've got our crushed juniper berries. Put those in. We've got our cloves. Drop those in. We've got our 3 bay leaves. Drop those in. Orange peels. There's the orange peel. That should give it a nice orange flavor. And of course the last one, the garlic. Chop those up a little bit, put those in. And that pretty much fills an 8-quart pot, just using 1 gallon of water and 2 quarts of the applesauce, apple juice. Okay, so we're going to put that on the oven. We're going to put that on the stove, let that boil for 5 minutes once it reaches the boiling point, and then we'll add it to our pot and add the rest of the apple juice and the water. Well, we've been cooking this thing on the stove now, and we finally brought it to a boil. So we're going to let it boil for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is almost up. So this is our basic solution, and we'll be ready to turn this off once the 5 minutes of boiling is complete. Okay, that's it. The 5 minutes are up. We'll turn off the heat and let this thing cool. While the brine was cooling, we went to Costco to get the turkey. But they only had 25-pounders. So off we went to Vaughn's. There we found a Huntsinger 14-pound, all-natural organic turkey. Perfect for our recipe. After a little bit of thought and reading the label, Randy was happy with the choices. So, here we are with our natural turkey. This is the guy right here, so let's get a close-up. Now all we have to do is start cleaning it up and getting it ready for the barbecue. So at this point, we want to wash it down real good on the outside. Make sure you get a lot of water going through on the inside as well. We won't have to videotape this whole procedure, but all you have to do from there is paper towels, pat it down dry, and then put it in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight. Well, it's 10 p.m. on Tuesday, so it's time to put the turkey in the brine and let it sit there overnight. Not actually overnight, but for 24 hours, because it'll be in the brine until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So let's stir it up a little bit first. Get that brine nice and mixed. Get that turkey and drop it on in there. And here we go. Submerge that turkey. And there it goes. That's it. We're going to put a weight on it to weight it down so it stays underneath. That's going to sit there for 24 hours. We'll take it out tomorrow night and let it dry out a little bit. And that's it for now. And now it's Wednesday night at 10 p.m. and we've taken the turkey out of the brine. We've patted it dry a little bit with some paper towels. We've emptied the brine, took it out and threw all that out, so that's down the toilet, as they say, because you don't want to pour that in your sink. That's a lot of salt and it's a little bit hard in the sink. So now we're just going to take the turkey and pat him dry a little bit more. And in he goes into the pot until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. At that time we'll take him out of the pot and start getting him ready. So there we are. The only thing we have to worry about now is to check the weather tonight, because we've had a lot of wind for the last 3 days. So we're hoping there won't be any wind tomorrow, because that's going to play an important role in our barbecuing. But if we have a windy day like this, you're going to have some problems with the barbecue. Hey Randy, it's a beautiful day and no wind.
Yippee!
Okay, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, Thanksgiving Day, and we still have to put together 3 more items for the turkey. So we have to pick up the pace because this video is taking far too long. So get your pens and pencils ready, get your notepad ready. Let's go over the last minute ingredients. For the drip pan, we put together about 1/4 of an apple, about 4 or 5 pieces of garlic, 1/4 of an onion, and we threw in some cloves and some juniper berries. We're going to add water to that, and that's going to be the drip pan. And we did the same thing for the garnish bag, which is going to go inside the turkey. About 1/4 of an apple, 1/4 of an onion, some garlic, and that will go inside. Next thing we put together is our wood chips. So we're going to use 2 cups of wood chips on each end of the barbecue, not the turkey. We're going to use 2 cups of apple chips and 2 cups of cherry wood chips. So that should be pretty interesting to meld those 2 flavors together. And the last thing we want to put together is what we're going to use as the mopping ingredient, what we're going to use to keep it moist should it start to get dry, and maybe every half hour to an hour. And that's going to be about 1/2 cup of chicken stock, maybe 1/4 cup of beer, and maybe 1/8 cup of oil that's flavored with roasted garlic. And that's what we're going to be putting together now before we get the turkey ready to go. At this point, the turkey is all tied up and ready to go, so the next step is put him on the big skewer and soak them down with some olive oil, and we'll be ready to start barbecuing. Okay, it's 11:15, so I've got my old clothes on. We're ready to put the turkey on the rotisserie. There we go. Hopefully that'll be balanced about right. We'll see what happens when we turn the motor on. Okay, let's crank on the motor. And we're underway at 11:15. A little bit of olive oil. We'll add more flavors later, but for now, this is a start. Well, it looks like we're about 45 minutes underway, and we do have smoke starting to come out, so let's take a look inside. Looks like we're off to a start. Smoke is coming up good. Looks like it's starting to cook a little bit too early, so we'll have to cut down on the fire a little bit and let it take its time. Definitely have smoke. Okay, so here we go. There it is, just about ready. Well, we were very fortunate for our Thanksgiving Day. We had perfect weather, no wind, and 81 degrees, but we did have one major problem. And that was that our turkey took too long to cook. We actually cooked that turkey for 5 hours and it still wasn't ready. We had to take it off the barbecue and take it inside. We were an hour late for dinner and our guests were very hungry. So we never got to our photo opportunity, unfortunately. But what I would advise you to do is allow 6 hours, because this turkey is going to be so moist that it's going to take that much longer, even cooking at 220 to 250 degrees. There's no way to speed up the process, so allow 6 hours, which means you start about 9 o'clock in the morning. Maybe 3 o'clock you take it out of there and take it inside. By 4 you're going to be ready, maybe 4 to 4:30. So, of course, if it's done earlier, great, you can always reheat. That wouldn't be a problem, but you don't want to be late like we were, because you'll miss that photo opportunity. We did take about a 1-minute fast break so we could ask our judges to vote on our turkey. And here's how it went. Actually, the range was from 1 to 10, which 10 being anything over 9 would be an outrageous recipe. So from 1 to 4, that's not very good. Go eat at Denny's. From 4 to 6 would be fair. Keep on trying, keep on working on your recipe. 6 to 8 would be very good. And 9 to 10, outrageous. Let's see how the judges did. Michael gave us a score of 10. Paul gave us a score of 9.473. And Randy gave us a score of 9. So we did make it over 9. We are outrageous with our recipe. I hope you've had as much fun watching this video as I have had making it. And I hope you're encouraged to try this recipe or something similar to it and let us know how it turns out for you. Incidentally, you don't have to write to the Culinary Institute because that was just a joke. But we do welcome your recipes anyway. One last point I would like to make. Here's a suggestion for you for your special Thanksgiving. What I'm going to recommend to you is that the day before your Thanksgiving, sit down in a quiet room, write a 1-page note about your thoughts about Thanksgiving, what took place during the year, what your perspective is, events that went on with your family or your community or the world in general. When you read that at Thanksgiving, that's going to open up the door for others, and you'll find out that they'll be making comments about what's special to them as well. Here's the second part. I'm going to recommend that you save those speeches and put them in a book like I did. Let's take a look at it. Here's my Thanksgiving journal, which goes back a number of years. So leaving this on the dining room table, everybody has a lot of fun just looking through it, going back through all the different speeches. 20 years back, 1992. Just a lot of fun reading some of the things that took place over the past years. So I'd encourage you to do the same thing. Put together your own special Thanksgiving journal. And that's all there is to say, except thanks for watching, and may every one of your holidays be special holidays. Bye.
Oh, I had a little chickie, she wouldn't lay an egg. I poured hot water up and down her leg, and the little chickie cried, little chickie begged, and the gosh darn chickie laid a hard-boiled egg. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the straw. The old folks dance with the mother-in-law as they play a little tune called Turkey in the Straw. Oh, I had another chickie, she wouldn't lay an egg. I poured a bus up and down her leg, and the little chickie cried, and the little chickie begged, and the gosh darn chickie laid a busted egg. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the straw. The old folks dance with the mother-in-law as they play a little tune called Turkey in the Straw. Did you ever go a-fishing on a sunny, sunny day when all the little fishies are swimming in the bay with their hands in their pockets and their pockets in their pants, and all the little fishies do the hoochie-coochie dance? Turkey in the straw, turkey in the straw. The old folks dance with the mother-in-law as they play a little tune called Turkey in the Straw. Oh, I went to Shaboogamoo, I walked around the block, and I walked right into a bakery shop, and I took 3 donuts off of the grease, and I handed the lady a 5-cent piece. Well, she looked at the nickel, she looked at me, and she said, this nickel's no good to me. There's a hole in the middle I can see right through. Says I, there's a hole in a donut too. Shave and a haircut,
6 bits.
tip the barber,
2 bits.
all together.
1 month.
My cousin Jewel's got big feet, but my friend Bram's got him beat.